transition and talk and pick up quickly.
It was interesting to hear Isaac Brown, the Shocker head coach, talk to the media within the last couple of days, coming off of that kind of heartbreaking and disappointing defeat at the hands of North Texas, in that if multiple mistakes are made by Wichita State players, they're coming out. Well, that was maybe a day or two before he knew he was down to 8 scholarship players, so we'll see what happens tonight.
Yeah, if they come out, they'll probably go back in pretty quickly tonight, because they're short-handed tonight.
Monzie Jackson with a large step through, and that falls for him. So Clarence Monzie Jackson, the self-proclaimed energized bunny, is on the board first.
Well, he doesn't take long to make things happen when he comes in off the bench, and he didn't take long to make things happen starting here tonight, getting that early bucket. He's got to worry about foul trouble tonight. You know, he's normally doesn't play that many minutes and has a tendency to get in foul trouble. Tonight it's going to be important that he stays out of foul trouble with Joe Pleasant out.
5 to shoot for the Panthers. Still yet to play their first home game.
Wow.
What an acrobatic shot by Dwayne Cox.
Yeah, no call by the referees. A lot of contact. Cox went down. I thought it was pretty good defense by Tyson Etienne, but an acrobatic shot by Cox.
Well, Prairie View A&M has played a murderer's row of games through their first 9. Again, no home games. They won't until after the first of the year. And according to the net, Bob, the second toughest schedule to start the season. Etienne gets loose for an angle 3. That won't go. He could use a few to fall for him, too.
Pretty good offense that time by Wichita State. Swung the basketball, drove the baseline, then kicked it out for a pretty good look by Tyson Etienne. Wide open that time. Yeah, Prairie View's had a really rough schedule. All road games. Only one game that wasn't on the road was a neutral site game against Michigan. And that was in Washington, D.C. They'll be tough. They'll be ready to go when they get into SWAC play.
A good fake by Christian Guest, but he couldn't finish around the rim. Shockers collect the defensive rebound.
As you can tell already, the Panthers are very quick offensively and defensively.
Quay Grant knocks down a 3-pointer. So Wichita State's de facto point guard gets on the board, Bob.
That's a big basket for that young man. He didn't have any points against North Texas on Saturday and a couple of turnovers. So for him to knock down an outside shot, that's big.
Something that's plagued Wichita State, their offense anyway, so far through their first 11 games, is that one drought during the game where they just can't get a basket. And it killed them on Saturday against North Texas. They went almost 13 minutes without a point.
Yeah, that was a 10-year drought Saturday. The score they went from up 10 to down 10, 20 to 0 run during that drought. There's a nice ball movement by Wichita State. Dexter Dennis with a quick pass over to Monzie Jackson. Monzie's already got a couple of buckets.
5 points for him, a 6-0 Shocker run in the last 45 seconds.
Well, I heard Isaac Brown say, you know, a lot of you guys, you've been wanting more playing time. He said, now when you get your opportunity, take advantage of it. And it looks like Monzie is.
Jackson had 10 points against Oklahoma State, but not as many as this since. And that was a Euro step through to be the mother of all Euros for Monzie Jackson. Well, he drew a foul, though.
He was trying to avoid the charge. Look, Quay Grant, we didn't catch in that replay, but Quay Grant saw up the floor that Monzie had a step on the defense, and so he threw it way up the floor to Monzie. And to avoid the charge, he did the Euro step and drew the foul.
Will Douglas picked up the foul. Free throw coming for Jackson. So Monzie, 79% foul shooter and limited attempt from the free throw line, rattles that one out.
Monzie's out of Dublin, Georgia, played at Polk State Junior College, and he's one of the crowd favorites. Comes off the bench normally, starting tonight, but really aggressive player, hits the boards, gets on the floor for loose balls, and really active player.
Miles McDougal, and the leading scorer for the Panthers, Jawan Daniels, checks in for the first time for Prairie View A&M. So Jackson with 6 of the Shockers' 9. Quay Grant with the other 3. Good dish and finish. That's going to be a 3-point opportunity for Brian Miles after Dwayne Cox broke down the interior of the Shocker defense.
Dexter Dennis picked up the foul. Yeah, good penetration this time by Cox. He made a nice little shovel pass to his teammate inside for the bucket by Brian Miles, and the foul.
Prairie View A&M, like a lot of SWAC schools that we see this time of the year, just live on the road. Of course, getting those checks for the entire athletic department, in specifics the basketball program. But Prairie View, once they get home, they are very good. They got one of the longest home court winning streaks in all of college basketball, not just the SWAC.
Yeah, third longest home winning streak in the NCAA with 35 straight home wins. So they've been really, really tough in SWAC play, especially at home. They're picked second this year.
I was going to say, they've carried the banner along with Texas Southern in the SWAC. Morris Udeze is working on 6 straight games of double-figure scoring. He's on the board.
Yeah, Shockers doing a good job looking up the floor, getting that ball inside. Yeah, Prairie View has won a piece of the last 3 SWAC championships. Won it in 19, won it in 20. We're undefeated. Oh, there's a steal by Quay Grant.
2-on-1 if he's got Etienne behind him, and Etienne taps it in. Good hustle by Etienne to chase down the play.
Yeah, good hustle by Tyson that time. Not assuming that ball's going in the basket, and he was there to tip it in. There's another steal.
Etienne overplaying. He's got a 2-on-1.
Nice
Leads for
pass.
Dennis.
Outstanding. That's what you like to say. Teamwork, great teamwork that time by Tyson. Etienne got in the passing lane, got the steal. Instead of forcing it up, he looked out of the corner of his eye, saw Dexter Dennis following the play, and threw a beautiful pass to Dexter for the lay-in.
Back-to-back steals and 4 assists on the first 6 Shocker makes. And a layup with 1 second on the shot clock by Christian Guess.
Pretty aggressive defense that time by Wichita State, but the Panthers withstood it and got the ball inside for the lay-in.
So far this year, Prairie View A&M done a pretty good job early in the possession trying to force turnovers, but if you're patient enough and control the ball well enough, you're going to get the shots that you want. And Wichita way there here in the first period.
Good start by Wichita State. They're 7 for 9 from the floor, 78% so far.
Jeremiah Gambrell checks back in. He started the game.
Ricky Council in for Wichita State.
Dwayne Cox goes out for the Panthers. Interesting with only 8 healthy guys, Bob, picking up full court and get a little frisky in backcourt.
No, I think that's the way they want to play. They want to press. They like to press. They got long, quick athletes that do a good job of trapping. There's another steal by Tyson Etienne.
Quay Grant with a spot-up 3 in transition. So Quay Grant, after a pretty forgettable game against North Texas, has 2 threes already here tonight.
Yeah, and set up by Tyson Etienne, the steal on one end, and the beautiful diagonal pass over to the open Quay Grant on the left wing. Good teamwork there. Ooh, a long one by Jeremiah Gambrell.
First triple for the Panthers. That spoils a 12-2 Shocker run. More good ball movement from Wichita State.
Oh, wow.
Dexter Dennis with a right-handed thunder.
How about that one?
2 dunks for Dexter Dennis.
Well, they took care of the monster double team inside that time. Good pass out of the trap by Mo Udeze. And then the Shockers quickly swung the ball to Dexter, who took it straight to the basket.
Jawan Daniels draws a foul on Wichita State. He'll go to the free throw line. This is the SWAC preseason player of the year. Team's leading scorer and rebounder on the year. The foul will be on Ricky Council IV for Wichita State.
You saw there an emphatic dunk by Dexter Dennis after the Shockers threw out of the double team, reversed the ball quickly to Dexter, and a straight line drive with a beautiful dunk at the end of it.
Jawan Daniels had only 2 points in their most recent game and lost to Boise 97-60.
Yeah, talk about forgettable game.
Yeah.
He had a rough one there, 1 for 8, and 0 for 3 from the 3. But I'll tell you what, he's had some good games. 25 points at San Francisco, 31 at Loyola Marymount. Hit 7 threes in that game. So get out on this young man. A little full court pressure by the Panthers now after the made free throw.
Daniels, his first 2. Wichita State red hot. 9 of 11 from the floor, including 3 threes already. Chauncey Jenkins back in there for Wichita State after missing his last game. Kenny Poto in off the Shocker bench as well. Good bounce to Council for an angle three. Wouldn't go. Back tap by Dexter Dennis. Dennis wants a three. Boy, you got Dexter Dennis and Tyson Etienne, at least in the first 7 minutes, Bob, looking more active out on the floor, not just looking for their own shot.
Yeah, Dexter Dennis crashed the offensive board, tipped that one out, and then got the three in the corner. Good offensive rebound by Dexter Dennis. Chauncey Jenkins getting a chance to play tonight with Craig Porter out with a sprained ankle.
Good look underneath, and Kenny Poto with a rejection.
That's called team defense. One guy gets beat, the other guy's there to help. That time it was Kenny Poto with the block.
Council to Poto, and he lost it going up, but he'll go to the free throw line. Boy, Wichita State couldn't ask for much better. And it all stems from what Isaac Brown was talking about, taking care of the ball. Don't turn it over. Don't show me in practice, show me in the game. Make some baskets and hang on to the ball during the game. So far, so good for the Shockers tonight.
Yes, they sure are doing a good job of passing the basketball. You saw in the replay there, Dexter Dennis got faked off his feet, but there was Kenny Poto protecting the basket, swatting that shot away. But you're right, Shane. The Shockers are doing a great job of sharing the basketball tonight. That last one was Ricky Council driving in and then threw a nice pass to Kenny Poto.
Well, tonight, Prairie View A&M is certainly going to enjoy an advantage on the bench. Jock Hughes checks in for the first time. Prairie View much deeper than Shockers will be this evening. But, again, so far so good for Wichita State. No turnovers and 10 of 13 from the floor. If Prairie View A&M can speed you up and turn you over, all the better for them. But if you can withstand that first 10 or 12 seconds defensively from the Panthers, you're probably going to get a good-looking shot.
Well, when a defense extends, then that leaves the basket open sometimes. So if you can break down the perimeter pressure, you can get to the hole.
A bullet pass underneath delivered by Daniels, and the Panthers couldn't cash it in.
Strong rebound that time by Chauncey Jenkins, showing his hops. I think he can play a little point guard in the future. He's kind of a 1-2. He's a good shooter, but also has a good handle. Can play some point guard.
Etienne met at the rim. Poto was there to clean it up. He gets tied up.
As the guy's got the message from Coach Brown that he wants that ball moving and he wants them to play together.
Of those available off the bench, they've all gotten into the game for Wichita State. Again, 8 scholarship players healthy enough to play today for Wichita State. They're being led so far by Dexter Dennis' 7 points. Etienne with a little stop and a left-handed layup is good. And for guys like him and Dexter Dennis, I think you alluded to it earlier, if you get active in other parts of the game, that sometimes leads to easier offense for you.
Yeah, I think if you're not hitting your shot, do something else. Get a rebound, get a steal, make a good defensive play, get a loose ball, and I think you're seeing that tonight. Tyson is really doing a lot of things other than just shooting.
Chauncey Jenkins wanted a three. That wouldn't go down. It's only the third miss from there after Jawan Daniels with a layup on the Panthers' offensive end. Gambrell wants a long three after Chauncey Jenkins went underneath the screen. He basically just immediately picked up his dribble and fired away. Council to Kenny Poto, and Poto lays it in.
A nice pass by Ricky Council into the big fella, and then Kenny shot fake, got his legs under him and went up and put that off the glass.
One thing head coach Isaac Brown said he wanted to do was play Kenny Poto more. He only got 9 minutes against UNT on Saturday.
Yeah, he's a guy that can, he's got some offense. He can score outside, and they're trying to get him to score a little more inside. Use his junk hook, use his height inside.
That'll count, and one. Jeremiah Gambrell has 5, working on 6 for Prairie View. Came in averaging 5, had 6 in the game against Boise State.
Not much of a foul there. A little bump by Tyson Etienne that time. Tyson goes out. He had a really good start to this ball game, hitting outside shots, making passes, getting steals, rebounds. It's like he's rubbing his left knee there. Might have gone knee to knee with as he was defending this last time.
Dennis and Etienne set down for the first time tonight. So Gambrell now has 6 after that 3-point play. So it's Jenkins, Council the 4th, Jackson, Poto, Quay Grant out there for the Shockers. Hughes, Kendall, Gambrell, Cox, and Daniels for the Panthers to start the 5 out there at the moment. Quay Grant reels in an errant pass and has the seas part for him for a dunk, and he couldn't finish it.
Yeah, it looked like he might have got fouled on that drive to the hoop. A lot of contact there as he went up to dunk it.
Jawan Daniels proving to be just as willing a passer as he is a shooter. He's looking for his teammates when he gets covered up. There's a reason why he's a preseason all SWAC or a preseason SWAC player of the year. Into the corner it goes Gambrell. Got the baseline on Quay Grant, but Kenny Poto there to erase it.
How about a save by Monzie Jackson? Went through the bench, knocked over about 3 chairs in the process.
And there he is for the tip lay-in.
Flies in for the putback at the offensive end. How about that? Shocker fans on their feet giving Monzie Jackson a standing ovation on that effort.
And a turnover. Here comes Wichita State.
Easy,
Monzie
easy.
lost it, but I think it's going to be kicked out of bounds by Prairie View A&M. Jeremiah Kendall kicked it out of bounds. Boy, down on the other end after Jackson made the save, all the walk-ons basically moved about 5 chairs so Monzie Jackson could get back on the floor. And what does he do? He runs back and tips it in.
Oh, here it is. Here's the block shot. Watch Monzie go after this ball, knock down a number of chairs, and here he comes flying in. And didn't run it the rest of the way, but he gets the tip in at the other end.
Council missed a 3-pointer on the Shocker offensive end.
They will show that to you again coming out of a timeout, but that was quite a play by Monzie Jackson. Now you know why he's a crowd favorite.
And Chauncey Jenkins guilty of a goaltend.
Errol Lewis called that one. It was off the backboard. Goaltending.
Saw briefly there, Bob. Chauncey Jenkins, little wrap on his left knee, gave him a little bit of a discomfort and an issue. He was not available in the North Texas game, so it's probably just as well that he's well enough to play tonight. They'd be really shorthanded without him.
They sure would. He's out of Newport News, Virginia. Very talented freshman, 6'4", great shooter, and an athlete as well.
Monzie Jackson is feeling it tonight. Wow.
You talk about making the most of an opportunity. He got a start tonight. He says, hey, I belong out here, coach.
Monzie Jackson with 11 points on 4 of 4 shooting.
Nice bucket that time. Yeah, that was Jeremiah Kendall. He's wearing a different number tonight. He's normally number 13, but he's wearing number 5 tonight.
Monzie Jackson already, Bob, only 3 off of his season.
Oh. And Poto, yeah, he's big contribution so far. Makes this one will be 6 points.
Monzie Jackson had 2 threes against UNLV earlier this year. That was his highest output from downtown.
Had a pretty good game down in Oklahoma State. 10 points, 4 rebounds for the Shockers win in Stillwater. He really did a nice job off the bench there. He and Ricky Council really gave the Shockers a lift. Almost a near steal there by Quay Grant, getting in the passing lanes.
Would have been the Shockers' 5th steal.
We talked about the Panthers disrupting the Shockers' offense, but it's been the other way around. The Shockers' pressure defense has been disrupting the Panther offense.
Wichita State has gone the first 13 minutes of this game without committing a turnover, and that absolutely killed them against North Texas. Put back is left short by Jawan Daniels, and then a rejection by Chauncey Jenkins leads to a run out. Ricky Council lost it going up. There's your first turnover of the night.
Well, I think it was a pretty good pass by Quay Grant. I don't know if Ricky took his eye off it or just jumped a little bit early, but nice block shot that time by, or actually a swatted rebound, I think, by Chauncey Jenkins.
I gave him credit for a block.
Was that a block?
Yeah,
okay.
Shockers now have 4 of those, too. A quick take to the basket by Kendall. It wouldn't go down. Jackson nearly traveled and got it poked away. So now turnovers on back-to-back possessions. He gets it back and flushes it home.
Rewarded for his hustle. Real strong rebound down on the defensive end. Got down on the offensive end and got a little gift from the Panthers. The ball just kind of kicked right back to him for a lay-in.
13 points for Jackson and a blocked shot by Ricky Council. A lob to Jenkins, and he's fouled. He'll go to the free throw line.
A couple of high flyers there. Ricky Council and Chauncey Jenkins. This time it was Ricky trying to set the lob dunk up to Chauncey Jenkins.
Dwayne Cox with a foul, and then a good sportsmanship play to make sure that Chauncey Jenkins is all right.
Yeah, there's the block by Ricky Council at the other end. And he tried to dial up Chauncey for the alley-oop dunk, but a pretty hard foul by the Panthers. Going to send Jenkins.
So Chauncey Jenkins playing in his 7th game of the year. Banks in the free throw to get his first point.
I'll bet you he's never banked in a free throw in his life.
Well, that's his first free throw make all year. He's only been to the line 3 times, one out of 3.
You watch him in practice, this kid can really shoot the basketball. He is one of the best shooters on the Shocker team.
Splits a pair, and the Shockers have doubled up Prairie View A&M after 14 minutes.
Might be an indication that he's a little jacked up right now when you're banking a free throw like that.
Jeremiah Gambrell hits a triple for Prairie View. He's made the only 2 from long distance. He's got 9 points.
Yeah, he's a transfer from Western Kentucky.
And a reach-in foul is going to be committed by Dwayne Cox, I think. Foul number at least 6 here in the half against Prairie View. That'll be 2 fouls on Dwayne Cox. Nice. Etienne comes in. Chauncey Jenkins checks out.
Yeah, nice hand for Chauncey Jenkins. Made a lot happen. A couple block shots and free throws, buckets. Tyson Etienne back in there. He really had a good start to the basketball game.
4 points, 4 assists for Etienne in his 10 minutes. Council had it stripped, and maybe the only possession we've seen tonight, too much dribbling for Wichita State.
Yeah,
in transition, a 3 wouldn't go. Udeze the rebound.
Yeah, dribbling against double teams is never a good idea. And that's why Ricky lost the basketball, that pass last time down.
We'll give and go to Morris Udeze. Backs his man down all the way underneath the rim. I think Brian Miles is, when you're all the way underneath the cup, you're pretty much helpless and you need to foul, and that's what he did.
Well, they sent the double team at Mo Udeze, but they didn't put the body on him. Will Douglas, when he comes over to double teams, got to put the body and not let Udeze maneuver in there.
Udeze with 6 points tonight to go with 2 rebounds. It's 2 out of 2 from the free throw line.
Ricky Council going to get a rest, and Dexter Dennis back in the ball game. Dexter also had a really good start to this ball game.
So an interesting shuffle of the deck for Isaac Brown tonight, considering his 8 healthy bodies. Having to go without Craig Porter and Joe Pleasant tonight due to injury.
Well, sometimes less is more.
Sometimes, you're right. So far it has been. That's a turnover by the Panthers.
Yeah, look at Tyson Etienne flying all over the place here tonight. Really hustling on defense.
Jock Hughes checks back in for the Panthers. The Shockers will inbounds with Monzie Jackson. Jackson 13 points and 3 rebounds in 11 minutes.
Yeah, he's 5 for 5 from the field. Dexter Dennis 3 for 3 from the field. And as you mentioned, Etienne with 4 assists.
Shockers have 9 assists altogether here in the half. Skip past to Dennis. Dennis 7 points on 3 of 3 shooting so far. Jackson with nearly another tip in, and he's took a shot to the face or the throat, a little slow getting back. Now we're 5 on 5. "4 minutes left, and Dennis and Quay Grant all alone for the Shockers. Dexter Dennis with a two-hand flush. He's got 9, and the Shockers lead by 22.
Yeah, good defensive action that time by Quay Grant and Dexter Dennis, jumping that exchange that time and stealing the basketball. That Dexter, high flyer that he is, sent it down.
3 wouldn't go for Prairie View. That's 2 out of 6 from there for them. Meanwhile, the Shockers are 5 out of 10. Udeze from Quay Grant, and the Shockers are clicking on all cylinders. Again, a lot of expected of Prairie View and Texas Southern out of the SWAC. Texas Southern's already beaten Florida earlier this year. And a nice little quick jumper by Jeremiah Gambrell. He's been about as effective as anybody offensively for Prairie View. He's got 11.
Couple of coaches of the year coaching both ball clubs here. Isaac Brown was the AAC coach of the year last year.
Etienne took Miles McDougal to the cup, couldn't finish. Dennis high for the rebound and got it stripped. And that's going to lead to a couple of Shocker free throws. A couple if Dennis makes the first. Shockers 9 of 11 from the free throw line so far in the half.
I think Miles McDougal might have picked up that foul after the rebound. Dexter Dennis, 9 points so far tonight, 4 for 4 from the field, 1 for 1 from 3.
And 79% from the free throw strike.
Couple of rebounds, an assist. Pretty good start to the ball game, I'd say.
Really, I think a get-right game or opportunity for he and Etienne tonight. A lot is expected from those guys so far this year, especially shooting the ball, and neither one has really found the range in any one particular game.
No, they both had limited points Saturday. Dexter had a pretty good defensive game and had 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks against North Texas, but couldn't get anything going offensively.
And Prairie View has misfired on 5 of their 7 3-pointers so far. So Shockers with 50 in 17 and a half minutes on 61% shooting from the floor.
Well, the big issue tonight was could the Shockers operate on the offensive end without Craig Porter out there with a sprained ankle? And so far, Quay Grant and the rest of the guys are all doing a pretty good job running the stuff.
Udeze will go to the free throw line. And to further that point, Bob, when Wichita State came apart at the seams in that 13-minute run against North Texas, that coincided with Craig Porter Jr. injuring his ankle. So you wondered, not only can anybody else get Wichita State into its offense, can they hang on to the ball? They've done both tonight.
Yeah. He was the guy that was the straw stirring the drink, so to speak. In the three previous games, he's had 16 assists and 1 turnover. So Craig Porter was doing a great job of running the offense and setting his teammates up for easy baskets. And then when he went out with that sprained ankle about 3 minutes into the second half, Saturday against North Texas, it was a big blow to Wichita State and their chances. North Texas took advantage after he went out.
Quay Grant takes his 6 points and 3 assists to the Shocker bench. Mo Udeze splits a pair at the free throw line. He has 10 unofficially, so he's now 7 games in a row in double figures scoring.
He's going to get a little rest, and Kenny Poto back in the ball game. Shockers all man-to-man so far. A pretty good job of pressuring in the half court. Really getting out and making the Panthers uncomfortable.
Poto got bowled over, maybe an errant elbow, but Kendall ends up scoring as Poto went down in the heap. Kendall's got 4. And Etienne is bumped to the ground by McDougal. Free throws coming up for him. The other thing that Wichita State probably will be happy about at halftime, if things continue to go the way they are, Prairie View's longest scoring run is 3 points. So the defense has been there time and time again.
Well, that's what's always been with the Wichita State Shockers. It always starts at the defensive end. You know, that's how you win your ball games, and that's why they've been so successful over the years. The program is built on defense and rebounding and playing hard and playing angry, as they used to say.
Yeah. 5 points for Etienne, and to your point, through the first 11 games this season, Wichita State's giving up only about 61 points per. Etienne, 71.4 from the line coming into this one this evening, and he nails both.
Actually, defense wasn't a problem Saturday against North Texas. They held them at 62 points, and that was with a lot of free throws at the end. They had to foul to try to get back in the ball game. They'd have been held down in the 50s if not for all the free throws. There's a kind of a cheapie that time by Etienne. Just a little bump, but Mr. Lewis called the foul.
And Miles McDougal benefited with a 16-foot elbow jumper. He'll have an opportunity for a three-point play. And it should be pointed out, for those that missed it, North Texas is among the best defensive teams in the country. So there is a reason why the Shockers were held into the 50s, although they didn't help themselves very much either.
Yeah, they do a nice job. They do a good job with their man-to-man defense and really help each other.
So McDougal finishes the three-point play. Christian Guest checks in for Prairie View A&M. Shockers met with a little pressure in the final 90 seconds of the half.
Well, Tyson Etienne is going to play a little point guard here.
Council looking for Poto just off of the left block. He's going to hook one up and in. Kenny Poto is bound and determined to take his man down, and he did just that. Poto's second field goal, he's got 8 points.
Yeah, the timing was off a little bit on that play. He came off that back screen too early. If he would have waited a couple of seconds, he would have got a dunk, but he ended up getting the bucket anyway.
Council leaves for Dennis. Good catch to make the best of it. Jenkins knifes into the lane and stuffs it in with the right hand.
Well, Ricky was trying to get a lob dunk to Dexter Dennis. Dexter didn't know he was lobbing it up there, but they ended up getting the ball out to Chauncey Jenkins, and he's the one that got the dunk.
Shockers now with 5 dunks in the first half. Shooting 63% on 19 of 30.
A lot of assists and very few turnovers. There's a nice give and go that time.
Kendall cleans it up. He's got 6 points. How about 11 to 2 assists to turnovers in the first half?
That's what you like to see.
Etienne to beat the buzzer, batted out of bounds, so they will have one more last gasp with 1.9 left. First Prairie View A&M will bring in Jock Hughes. A long 6'4" player.
Good recovery that time by Will Douglas. Came in to help out his teammate to block that shot. Plenty of time for a bucket here.
Jenkins to give the Shockers 6.
Arc and a half.
Panthers will get it first. And just like that, a turnover. So certainly not the start Byron Smith wanted. A turnover after about 4 seconds in the possession.
Yeah, smart defensive play by Tyson Etienne down there and knocks down a 3. And defense leads the offense, they say, and here's an example of it right there.
It was a long 3, but it was an open one that he walked right into. And that's an elbow thrown by Dwayne Cox. He was caught, and he's kind of lucky the other 2 officials didn't see him swat the basketball away. So.
Well, a good positioning that time by Tyson Etienne as he was cutting for the basketball. Dwayne Cox, Tyson just got in his way, cut off the cutting lane, and Cox just pushed him out of the way.
That's 3 fouls on Cox.
Oh, he got a little revenge there, stealing the ball from Tyson Etienne.
A little payback, but Udeze rejected him at the rim. That is 7 blocks for Wichita State. Etienne with a heat check 3, spins out, no good.
Oh, that was in and out. Soft touch that time.
That would have put the Shockers up by 30.
Looked like it was going in.
Yeah, that's going to be a 3-point play. A little runner settled softly through by Will Douglas. Douglas, first points of the night. Came in averaging over 10 a game.
Transfer from SMU. First season, he's a grad transfer. Had 24 points against South Dakota State in 20 minutes of that game. 6 for 8 from the floor.
Again, they're deep. They have guys that are all capable, and they have played so far tonight 12 players. To the Shockers, only 8. So again, that was part of the reason for the key of the second half. Keep running. You're deep, so use it. Udeze with a nice catch. Couldn't finish an alley-oop, but he brought it down and skims it off the rim, and Cox with a weak side rebound.
Yeah, tried to play through the contact that time. A lot of contact, no whistle, but couldn't quite get it to fall. There's a strong rebound by Monzie Jackson.
His fifth. Dennis eyes a three, and he stays perfect from the floor.
Oh, Dexter is shooting the eyes out tonight.
14 points. He has not missed from the floor or the free throw line.
No, he got hot last year in the latter part of the season. February and March, he really got hot and really blistered the nets from three.
Line drive three goes down by Gambrell. He's made all three of the threes for Prairie View A&M tonight. Gambrell has 14 points.
God, wasn't really shooting that well from three coming in, 25%, just 9 out of 36, but wouldn't know it tonight.
And you wouldn't know he's only averaging 5 points a game either. Tie ball will stay with Wichita State.
Udeze was doing a really good job of recognizing the double team in the first half and then kicking it out to the open perimeter player. That time didn't see the double team coming. He had Dexter Dennis open in the corner. That's why he was tied up.
So Dennis, Etienne, Jackson, Grant, Udeze, and a foul before it was inbounded. A grab by Cox. That's going to be his fourth. And that's going to be his fifth after he gets a technical. How about that?
Well, he was upset. He thought Tyson Etienne had pushed off. But Stephen Orcus, the referee, didn't see it that way. He was kind of holding Tyson. And then when he cut for the basketball, that's when the foul was called. And he must have said something.
Yeah, he said plenty.
Something the referee didn't like.
And clapping your hands toward the referee is going to get their attention, to pay attention to whatever you have to say next. And that is the end of the evening for Dwayne Cox. Etienne's technical free throw goes in.
He's their defensive stopper. He's the guy they put on the top offensive guy on the other team. That's why he's on Etienne. But didn't work out for him tonight.
No, it did not. So Etienne knocks down both free throws. He's in double figures. Shockers up big with the ball. And looks like Errol Lewis is having a word with Byron Smith, Prairie View A&M head coach, to give him a state of the union of what's going on in the first 2.5 minutes out on the floor. And Byron Smith did not get much satisfaction, it didn't look like.
I think they know each other. Errol Lewis works a lot of SWAC games, so I'm sure he's had a lot of games at Prairie View A&M.
Etienne's going to go back to the free throw line with Guess picking up the foul.
Posted up Etienne this time. He got hammered from behind. Christian Guess from transfer from Sanford.
Etienne with a fairly quiet 11. Made all 4 of his free throws. Shockers are 16 of 19 from there. That one settles in. So Etienne, I think you hit it on the head, Bob. Early in the first half, both Etienne and Dennis did the little things, the hustle plays to kind of get them jump started and into this game before they ever even took a shot.
Yep, you're exactly right. It all started on the defensive end, playing good defense, getting steals, and making some really nice passes. I'm sure he had some conversations with his dad, Max. His dad played at Maryland, was a really excellent college basketball player, and so, but hey, get back to the basics. Play defense, share the basketball, and your shots will drop.
There's an example of that extra pass, and Morris Udeze benefited from that.
Yeah, beautiful pass. Monzie Jackson again, a drive and a dish. Little shovel pass to Etienne.
All Wichita State lead back up to 30. This equals the Shockers' biggest.
I think Monzie likes starting.
I would say so.
First start of the season, and he's making the best of it.
13 and 6 and a steal.
Oh, there's a nice pass that time.
A great back cut by Juwan Daniels.
Yeah, Gambrell, no look bounce pass to the cut into the basket.
Dennis A wide open three. Won't get any more open all night, and he finally missed one. So that's what it took.
You know, sometimes you can have too much time to think about it. That time Dexter was looking for somebody to pop open, and nobody came out to get him. Had time to think about it. And that one went in and out.
You got to shoot that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody within the area code. You got to shoot it.
Especially when you haven't missed one all night.
That's right.
That was his first miss of the evening. Like one of those 4-foot putts where you have a long time to think about it.
And your partner's not giving it to you.
Your mind gets in the way.
Gambrell handles a questionable pass, makes his way into the lane, lost it. A little hook shot left short there by Kendall. Shockers get stopped. Quay Grant, after the player went under the screen, and Dexter Dennis goes high for the rebound, couldn't finish.
Oh, my.
Wow, the three-pointer looked good, and Dexter Dennis's putback looked good. Neither went in.
Good steal that time by Etienne, hustling back on defense.
Udeze with a reverse. Morris Udeze's got 4.5. Shockers back up by 30 again. Udeze's got 14.
And another assist by Quay Grant. A little feed into Udeze and a little behind the head slam that time by Mo.
Well, if they credit that a dunk, that's 7 for Wichita State tonight. 7 dunks.
That play started by Tyson Etienne hustling back on defense.
Free throw line jumper nailed by Miles McDougal. Not asked to score a lot. He's got 5, including a 3-point play. Etienne, a off the dribble 3. And that's when you know things are going good. Etienne looking pretty comfortable offensively now.
Well, if you let him come off a ball screen and you don't trap him and give him that free look, he's going to make you pay. Got a 6 from 3. Couple of new Shockers in there. Chauncey Jenkins in there. Ricky Council in there.
Council with a strip. Another steal for Wichita State. Shockers now with 8 of those. Monzie Jackson had a dynamite first half. He hands off to Quay Grant. He's hounded there by the longer Will Douglas. Jenkins for 3. Chauncey Jenkins hits his first triple. Wichita State now with 9 from long range.
Yeah, good ball reversal that time by Wichita State. Monzie got the ball to the point guard. They pulled it out, swung it over to Jenkins for the open 3.
By the way, Wichita State's season high in points came a couple of games ago against Alcorn State. They had 82. 77 right now with just under 14 left to go in this one, just saying. Council misses a long 3 early in the shot clock. Does go to the floor to try to clean it up, but couldn't quite corral it. Shockers on a 6-0 run. They've made their last 3. And a blocking foul. It's going to go against Chauncey Jenkins. It's his first foul.
Trying to draw the foul that time in transition. Got there a little late and wasn't set, so there'll be some free throws.
Jock Hughes played only 6 games last year. He is scoreless in 9 minutes so far tonight. That one rattles out. First miss of the night for Prairie View from the free throw line.
Well, on the 28th, they play at Valparaiso. And then on the 30th, they play at Northwestern. So they're going to stay on the road a little while longer.
Jock Hughes splits a pair at the stripe. Kenny Poto back into the game after 8 first half minutes. True to his word, Isaac Brown trying to get him some more minutes after just 9 the other day against North Texas.
Well, what's unusual is he's playing in there with Mo Udeze. They very seldom play together, so that means he'll play the 4 and Udeze's the 5, and it worked out pretty well as the Shocker did a little backdoor cut with Udeze for the slam.
Well, a dunk fest for Wichita State tonight. Some high percentage shots. 8 dunks for Wichita State. Long 2 for Juwan Daniels. Good looking stroke from 19 feet.
Yeah, Daniels averages 14 a game. He's had some pretty big ball games. 25 against San Francisco, 31 against Loyola Marymount. I mentioned that earlier. He had 7 threes in that ball game.
Moving screen on Udeze.
And now we're going to get a turnover there, a blocking call by Udeze, screening for Ricky Council.
That's Udeze's first, Shockers' 5th of the half.
Nice back cut that time by Udeze. Saw the replay from a minute or so ago. The Shockers running a little half-court offense.
Udeze was 16 points on 6 of 8 from the floor tonight. Just been blistering hot, Shockers have, from really the opening tap. A line drive 3 knocked down by Gambrell. He's got 4 3-pointers for Prairie View A&M. 17 points tonight for the Panthers. Council runner, that's going to be an offensive foul. Created problems for himself that he didn't have a good angle to bank it off the glass.
Well, I think they got Udeze on the push-off on the weak side, Shane. Not a foul on Council, but a foul on Udeze on the rebound. Yeah, Council didn't get his shoulders squared up that time. He was kind of facing sideways, facing the baseline. Pretty hard to shoot.
When you don't have the backboard to bank it off of, that's a really high degree of difficulty.
That's a tough shot. There's a nice steal. Well, a near steal, but
boy, Will Douglas got away with stopping on the backdoor cut. He eventually got the ball, but him stopping on the backdoor cut almost cost him a possession.
Well, Jenkins did a good job of after he kept his man in his vision in the corner of his eye. And when he saw him go backdoor cut, he opened up and was covering the back cut and got a hand on it.
Will Douglas with 4, came in averaging 10. Dennis and Etienne will check in. Council Quay Grant will go out. And Poto and Mo Udeze will stay in there, the Shockers version of the Twin Towers.
Yeah, this kid Douglas is a shooter. 38% from the three-point stripe, 85% from the free throw line, so a really high percentage. He had 15 against University of Michigan. And that game had 7 rebounds, 3 steals as well. So played pretty good against the Wolverines in Washington, D.C.
Interesting route to Prairie View A&M. Douglas originally from Memphis, spent time at SMU, and made his way to Prairie View, Texas. Jenkins along the baseline, and Dennis has missed his last 2. Kenny Poto cleaning up. We'll go
to Tarleton State. And, of course, the 2 games in Las Vegas against Arizona and UNLV. Arizona's proven to be one of the top teams in the country, and the Shockers took them to overtime. Had chances to win that ball game.
Kenny Poto to the free throw line, misses for the first time. 4 out of 5 from the stripe, 8 points and holding. And a foul on Udeze, I think. And if so, that's his 4th. Got to be smarter than that if you got 3 fouls and you're messing around on a missed free throw. We'll see if it was Udeze. Either way, now the Shockers are over the limit with 11:42 left. That is Udeze, and that is his 4th. So he has 4. Etienne's in the game with 3. But keep in mind, Shockers only have 3 scholarship players on the bench.
Well, they won't have to worry about clearing the bench tonight.
No.
It's already been cleared.
And I guess on the other hand, too, if the things continue to go well, there's no calling off the dogs. There's no other dogs to bring in the game.
Yeah, I'm saying you've seen it all. You've seen all the guys already.
And Dennis really didn't have anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, a little indecisive right there. Didn't know whether to pull up or to go all the way, but they had walled him up pretty well. He wasn't going to get to the basket that time. Good defense by the Panthers.
A little lefty layup wouldn't go down. Shockers clean up the rebound. Only 4 offensive rebounds tonight, Bob, for Prairie View all night long.
And Dexter Dennis doing a pretty good job on the boards tonight. He's averaging 5 rebounds a game, so even at 6'5", he's a really effective rebounder for Wichita State.
Jenkins traveled. This is a spot in the game that's becoming familiar to Shocker fans. The offense is down and the turnover is starting to come a little more frequently.
Yeah, that time I think Jenkins had a pretty good lane to the basket, but just got that ball stuck on the body of the defender, Christian Guess, and came down with it and traveled.
And things didn't work out for Dexter Dennis last time he was down the floor too. I think he wanted one of the two guys that had their eyeballs on him to go for a fake, and neither one did. He had to force.
Well, the Shockers are a lot better offensively when they're moving the basketball and spreading it around, passing it from side to side, going inside, kicking it out. When they start going one-on-one and driving every time, the offense bogs down.
Poto stepped into a three. That wouldn't go down. That's his first long-range attempt. Shockers in scramble mode. Pretty darn good defensive possession right there. They had to really recover multiple times.
Yeah, good recovery that time to the corner shooter and a nice board by Dexter Dennis. Let's get the ball passing around. There you go. The Shockers play that dribble drive. They're not near as effective as when they pass it and screen it and cut.
Etienne with a left hand finishes. That was the first prolonged drought for Wichita State tonight. 3.5 minutes without a basket, but Etienne made his way there, and he's got 18 points.
Well, they took the ball from one side of the court to the other side of the court, and the defense didn't rotate, so Tyson had a free lane to the basket.
Kick ball with 9.5 left to go in the game. Jeremiah Kendall checks in.
Speaking of Tyson, he's 5 for 10 from the floor tonight, 2 for 4 from 3, so 18 points. Doesn't seem like he's shot that much, has he?
Doesn't. Everybody that scored a bunch of points seemed like they've all done it quietly.
Yeah, he's got 5 assists.
Kendall trying to back down Poto, and to the line. It should be a parade to the free throw line for the rest of the game for Prairie View A&M, and Shocker fouls start to pile up.
Well, on that second dribble, Shockers need to get in there and dig and not let that guy post him up.
That's 9 fouls on Wichita State in the half. Mike Kendall has 7.
Kerry Rosenblum's going to get Kenny Poto in the weight room in the offseason. And where do you see this guy next year? He's going to be a little bigger and a little stronger.
Shocker, longtime strength and conditioning coordinator. 2 free throws go down by Kendall. He's got 8 points, and Prairie View's as close as they've been in a while.
Poto's a pretty good player right now. You put 15 pounds of muscle on him, and he's going to get a lot tougher inside.
Poto right now 8 points and 5 rebounds in this one tonight.
Nice action that time by Wichita State.
Etienne sees the ball go in the basket early. It's going to be one of those nights. It's been one of those nights tonight.
That was good ball movement, a couple of back cuts, some nice screening, brought Etienne off a down screen for the wide open shot.
Jenkins drew a double team. Etienne will set up the offense. It would seem Isaac Brown has played about as many combinations as you can with only 8 guys. Both post players have been in there at the same time. Etienne running the point at the moment right now. And Poto just got pushed underneath the basket.
Yeah, he gets some more weight on him. He won't get shoved out of the way by Jeremiah Kendall after the strength coach gets him in the weight room for a year.
A good leave by Etienne and a foul. The only thing left to do for Jeremiah Kendall, giving up 5 inches, was to foul Kenny Poto. Good look, although he didn't look, by Etienne.
Yeah, he's driving under control, but he sees Kenny Poto out of the corner of his eye. And when that second defender comes over to help, he dropped a nice little wraparound bounce pass to Kenny Poto to set up the foul.
Poto now has missed 3 free throws in a row after making his first 4. Subs in for Prairie View, including Will Douglas.
Tyson Etienne going out, get a nice round of applause from the Shocker fans.
Etienne with 20 points. Come out in favor of Quay Grant. Kenny Poto closing in on double figures. He's got 9.
Etienne also with 5 assists, 4 rebounds.
4 shot, no call, with the Shockers putting Prairie View A&M in the double bonus. He had 9 rebounds in that loss against North Texas a couple of nights ago. Wichita State continues to shoot it at the free throw line at a good clip. And a three-point opportunity after a rare offensive rebound. Brian Miles will go to the strike. It's only the 5th offensive rebound all night for Prairie View.
I was going to say that hasn't happened much tonight. Wichita State's been pretty stout at defending their defensive boards.
Foul went on Quay Grant. That's just his first.
Yeah, I think we've got a little ankle issue with Christian Guess.
Yep, kind of hobbling off. Favoring that right foot and immediately unlacing the shoe. Brian Miles, 5 points. And no good with a free throw. Dexter Dennis's 9th rebound. He's closing in on a double-double. Shockers have been comfortably in front from the start. Prairie View has never led tonight. And counts a little stop and go, a little dipsy-do, and he's fouled before he can take it up to the rim.
Well, you old timers recognize that offense. That's a 3-man weave.
The weave, yeah.
Whiz kids at Illinois used to run that back in the 30s.
Monzie Jackson checks in for Wichita State after the ball handling display by one Ricky Council. This is a 1-and-1, so now Prairie View is over the limit. Council's made 3 in a row from there, and Wichita State closing in on 90 every point from here on out, a season best.
I said 30s. That's actually the 40s when the Whiz kids were at Illinois.
Take your word for it.
I'll trick myself there.
Okay. You could have kept quiet probably, and no one would have known.
Well, my dad was there too.
Oh, okay.
He was on the baseball team.
Monzie Jackson had it blocked at the rim by Miles. A rare blocked shot for the Panthers.
Careful, guys. Couple of guys jawing at each other, and Sean Cassidy comes in and says, "None of that." I think we're going to get a. Are we going to get a T? A double foul, yeah. Yeah, there's old John. Watch this. Monzie gets a shot blocked by Brian Miles, and then they get in each other's faces, and Sean Cassidy steps in immediately. He doesn't want to see any issues, any tempers flaring here at the end of this game.
And now prior to the inbound, Gambrell grabbed Chauncey Jenkins, so we're a long way from done, even in a 30-point game. So that's now 3 technicals handed out. Miles got one, Jackson got one, Cox got one earlier that knocked him out of the game. Picked up his 4th personal and then got a technical. And he's been out of there for quite a while.
Chauncey Jenkins getting a lot of minutes tonight. He's going to set a personal best for minutes played, I'm sure.
Closing in on a 20-minute ball game. 8 points. Pretty efficient. Speaking of block shots.
Quay Grant, 5-11 of them getting a block shot.
7 minutes left to burn. Jackson with a fadeaway inside the keyhole. Quay Grant with the rebound to Poto, who wants a 3. Kenny Poto now with 12 points. He joins 4 other Shockers in double figures.
And good hustle back by Monzie Jackson there, cutting off that pass in transition.
Grant lost it going up, but hustles after his own miscue. Council for 3. Wichita State now 10 of 23, more than respectable from long range.
That's a good percentage.
43.5, that'll do, won't it?
Looked like Ricky was going to knock that one down. What a nice drive by Jeremiah Gambrell.
Gambrell's had a great offensive night, 19 points.
25% of his shots are threes. He puts up a lot of threes, but not that time. It was a good drive.
Poto with an offensive rebound. Boy, the Shockers have killed the Panthers on the offensive glass, and Ricky Council missed the third Shocker dunk of the night. It's been a dunk fest so far this evening.
Well, it looked like Ricky Council was high enough, but the ball must have slipped out of his hands because he was way above the basket that time when he attempted that dunk. There's some good sportsmanship. Monzie Jackson helping one of the Panthers up off the floor.
One of the only things left to decide here is if Wichita State can stay above 50% as they have all night long. They're right at 50 right now.
Well, they always score a little better when they share the basketball, and they're moving it around pretty good this trip.
Jackson for three. He chased down his own miss and is going to get called for a foul in backcourt.
Hit the offensive boards on his miss. Looked like he had the ball, but then it popped out of his hands and he picked up a foul. Last time Prairie View A&M played up here, Wichita State, was in 1999. Shockers won by 26 points. Jason Perez had 24 points in that ball game, and Darren Williams had 17 points in that ball game. Darren's a police officer for Wichita Police Force now. Talked to him the other day.
Miles with 7 points on 3 of 6 from the free throw line. Miles for Prairie View playing with 4 fouls.
That was 22 years ago. I was on the staff here the year before that, so it doesn't feel like 22 years ago.
I want to say Prairie View in that little era right there played here 3 years in a row.
Yeah, it was Shockers won 3 games from Prairie View A&M, and 1999 was the last one.
So Wichita State goes to the line with 5:13 left. It'll be Monzie Jackson, who's been quiet in the second half. Came out like gangbusters in the first. Both teams are over the limit. Double bonus for both.
That was in the Randy Smithson era when Randy was the head coach. Yeah, Monzie's having a heck of a ball game. Pretty good free throw shooter. He's 79% for the season, 11 out of 14. That one slipped out of there.
It's 32 trips to the line for Wichita State tonight. They're right at 75%. 24 out of 32 from the stripe. So Jackson now with 14.
14 points, 7 rebounds.
5 Shockers in double figures. And Jenkins with 8. Grant has 6. So they have a really legitimate shot, Wichita State does, of putting 7 of their 8 available players in double figures. Poto leaves for Monzie Jackson. Almost a highlight reel play. Jackson goes crashing into the basket stanchion, but he is up and okay.
I wasn't sure if Ricky Council's pass was going to get home to Kenny Poto. Watch this long pass down the floor, but just high enough to get over Will Douglas. And then Poto made a really nice touch pass back to the trailing Monzie Jackson.
He was fouled by Douglas, who has now fouled out. So there are 2 Prairie View players have been disqualified due to fouls. Monzie Jackson now with 15 points. And the Shockers inching closer to the century mark. Council with an offensive rebound. He's fouled. Wichita State now with 15 offensive rebounds, and this will be free throw 36 and 37.
Well, that's a 6th rebound for Ricky Council, and as you mentioned, he had a pretty good rebounding game Saturday with a number of rebounds, 9 rebounds in that game against North Texas.
Miles has now fouled out. Council back to the stripe. He's got 4 points, all of them from the line.
Ricky had a whale of a game down at Oklahoma State. 17.7 rebounds in that game, 4 assists, 3 steals, and he was a big reason why Shockers got out of Stillwater with a win.
Kenny Poto running the break. And Jackson lost it going up. Yeah, in that game you're talking about against Oklahoma State, there was a time where nothing was going right offensively except for Ricky Council IV.
Yeah, Ricky kind of took that game over, especially down the stretch, and made some really difficult shots to help the Shockers get out of Stillwater with the win. Now the Shockers are going to go to their matchup zone. I think Coach Brown's probably getting concerned about foul trouble, so they're going to try this matchup zone for a little while.
Long three splashed in by Gambrell.
Gambrell says, I know how to beat a zone. You just
Sure
shoot
does.
over the top of it.
5 threes for Gambrell, 22 points.
He's already shot 36 this season, so he gets a few up.
Jenkins tried to leave it for Poto, and eventually Kenny handled a bullet pass.
Yeah, not a good idea to jump in the air to pass the ball. Want to jump in the air, shoot it.
Council forced a three a little bit.
Looked like he was a little off balance on that shot.
And a turnover by Hughes, looking for a teammate. Final 3:36 coming up from the Roundhouse. Season highs in almost every category for Wichita State, including only 7 turnovers, and 5 of those have come in this half where things have gotten a little ragged, Bob.
Yeah, 18 assists, just 7 turnovers. I think anytime a player has twice as many assists as he does turnovers, that's a good stat to have. Especially that's what your guards, you want to have your guards have twice as many assists as turnovers, and the really good guards have a 3-to-1 ratio. But for a team to get 18 assists and only 7 turnovers, that's outstanding.
They got an outside shot to go 3-to-1 as a team with 3 more assists. That's my math showing off there for you, Bob.
There you go.
Chauncey Jenkins misfires from 3. Not too many misses from there tonight either.
Lefty pitchers are always cerebral,
Always
right?
thinking, yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes too much.
Brain gets in the way. 16 left on the shot clock, just over 3 left in the ballgame. Elijah Effigy checks in for the first time for Prairie View A&M.
He's got the best nickname on the team.
Yeah, he does.
Big Ticket.
6'8". Transfer from Southeast Louisiana, the Big Ticket. Wearing the headband. Quay Grant with the steal.
Yeah, good job getting back by Quay Grant, checking the break and picked off that pass, and it results in an open three-pointer by Chauncey Jenkins right in front of the Shocker bench.
I don't think there are any prizes or gifts like there used to be when Wichita State gets 100, but every home team crowd, no matter what, they get a little antsy when the team pushes 100, don't they?
Yeah, they always love it. They always love it. Isaac Brown had 2 fingers up signaling go to zone. One of the guys in the matchup zone. And another steal by the Wichita State Shockers.
11 steals for the Shockers to go with 9 block shots tonight. Jenkins wants to be the one to get to 100.
That was a pretty similar spot to the one he just made. We got a flop warning
on Jenkins,
I think on Chauncey Jenkins after that shot.
6 of the 8 Shockers are now in double figures with Jenkins at 11.
The referees are required to give one of those a game.
A flop warning?
Yeah. I think it's in the contract.
Well, they got their quota. Took them 38 minutes, but we got one.
There's a long 3.
Monzie Jackson thought he had to rebound all to himself, but a good job by Hughes to contest it, and Prairie View will keep it.
Gambrell let that one fly from good 25 feet out.
Made 5 of them tonight, so why not?
That Monzie's wound up pretty tight, isn't he?
He always is.
He springs off the floor, flies around. Sometimes he goes a little bit too fast. There's a good rebound.
So the Shockers have limited opportunities to ring up 100 tonight. Only a couple more possessions, it would seem, where you can actually shoot the ball without trying to rub it in. Poto trying to go around the Big Ticket and can't. Gambrell leaves underneath. Good move by Gambrell to leave it for Jawan Daniels.
Yeah, beautiful pass that time by Jeremiah Gambrell.
Well, I think Shocker fans know that this is pretty much it. Council. Ricky Council's first made basket gives the Shockers 102 and 11 three-pointers tonight.
Yeah, he was 0 for 5 from 3, but that one swished through beautifully from the corner. It's a long skip pass by the Panthers.
Daniels misfires. The Shockers, as it turns out, if they want to shoot one more time, I guess by the letter of the law, could do it with 8 seconds in between the shot and game clock. We'll see if they choose to. Sitting on 102. Council is gonna. Missed everything. So a game that was never in doubt, and those around Wichita kind of needed or felt like Wichita State needed this to be a get-right game, and they got right tonight.
Yeah, after the tough loss down at Intrust Bank Arena to K-State, and then a really tough loss to North Texas last Saturday where the Shockers unraveled in the second half. This is a kind of a early Christmas present for Wichita State and Isaac Brown. They needed a game like this, and Clay Grant's going to show a little class and just pull that one out. And they've got